Yes, guys, we're back. It's Friday. Beyond the Ropes, the Cam and Don Boxing Podcast, episode 2. We hope you enjoyed the last one. Let's go straight into it, guys.
Yes,
How you
yes.
doing,
Hey
Don?
guys,
What's
I'm
happening?
good, man. Good Friday, Friday night. Let's go. We can start singing
Having a good
some.
week, yeah?
Yeah. What about yourself?
Yeah, all good, all good, all good. So,
Yeah.
boxing this week has been interesting. Obviously, let's start with maybe let's get the serious topic out of the way. So, Adrian Broner, we saw obviously he fought a couple of weeks ago. Um, a super talented fighter. You remember about 8, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, even he was deemed to
Yeah.
be the one to take over after Mayweather. We've seen for various reasons him, lose to Maidana, and then from then lose his confidence. He's become gun shy. He's not focused outside of the ring, and one of those talents who we say, what if he could have done a lot more. Yes, he's a fullweight world
Yeah.
champion, but look, he's a great. He hasn't been that active in the last couple of years. He obviously had that Pacquiao fight. He probably got a good payday, but obviously now we saw him back with Don King, who is not the same promoter as he was a few years ago. Um, and we thought, okay, he's calling like the top dogs. Is he ready for them? Because obviously you think Adrian Broner is probably washed around, but what I
Yeah.
want to say is
Exactly.
obviously, yeah, but obviously what we've seen this week's a bit sad. Look, we know we thought he was kind of back now. We thought, all right, he's fighting now.
Mm.
He's got rid of his alcohol problem. He's got a better frame of mind, because for you to get in the ring and get into fairly decent shape, you've got to be
Yeah.
a
You
lot
gotta
better
be mentally
mentally.
strong. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on that
Yeah.
podcast, and those of you who don't know, what I'm getting at is we saw Adrian Broner this week at the start of the week. He was just drunk on a podcast. It was quite sad. It wasn't even funny, to be honest. Obviously, I think the podcast is called the Denzel Project. Also, they got a lot of stick from it. That's not my. Obviously, for me, I wouldn't put it out. But obviously, you understand their situation. I don't think they're a huge platform. And from their perspective, I think they said they tried to schedule it 3 times, and this was the third time. And obviously, they lost money, and they did take it down a day later. So, look, what do you think, Don? Obviously, you saw a few snippets. The podcast has been taken down, but what do you make of Broner? What is he going through? How do you feel about seeing him like that? And yeah,
Hey, honestly, it's so sad, right? Because this guy, like, he's a boxer first and foremost, but having like a mental illness and having a disease such as alcohol is sad because no matter how many, sometimes with some people they'll always say, oh, they've beaten their demons, but the demons always come back, and unfortunately for him,
yeah,
it looks like he can't escape them, and it's sad that they even put that podcast out to begin with because whoever his crew was, his entourage, to let him go to a talk show in that state is completely disrespectful to the boxer and even to the person. Like, why are you letting someone who you can see is obviously suffering go to a podcast? Because you're just making the guy look like he's looking like a fool. It's not his fault, but that's just the way the media will deem it. Because of course
yeah,
the podcast is gonna. They probably want it to happen because they know they'll get clicks. Oh, we've got a drunken boxer here. It's funny for us, but it's not really. It's sad. It's a sad state of society that we allow people with these conditions to go and to speak rather than protecting them. It's just not fair, isn't it? So yeah, with him, of course he was an up and coming boxer a decade ago, like you said. But sometimes being any sportsman, your mental game has to be so strong, not only just physically but mentally, and mentally is where it's all at. And unfortunately for him, he's got too many. He's got a disease, so he can't. He'll never be mentally sound to probably get back in the ring. So
it's
yeah.
just why would they let him even record? Because you'd think like,
Money, bro. Money and clicks.
but even
Money. Yeah.
entourage and stuff, they're just watching him. Like
Yeah.
it's just like you
Yeah.
can
So
see he's
that's
really
like
out of it.
that's like that's like you, right? Like if you had an alcohol problem and then you with me, and then I saw that, oh, okay, Cameron, you've obviously, you're not feeling well, you're not looking right. Maybe we shouldn't do it. But his entourage are obviously pushing him. They were like, mate, go in there, it's fine, you're okay. You know, but the guy was stone cold drunk, bro. He was out of it. He
You
was
could
gone.
tell.
He
'Cause
was slurring. I didn't know what he was saying half the time. Like, honestly, it was
he
bad,
just
bro.
looked so like you could tell he's not
Yeah, he's, well, you know,
so much
I
going through
read
his
as well
mind.
about his suicide problems and some of the tweets he's had, and obviously
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
just, yeah, it's bad. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't know what he's saying. He needs real mental health, man. He needs to be
it's crazy.
sectioned or whatever, but he needs real mental health, bro. Yeah,
It's sad. It's
and
sad. But
boxing is the worst sport to get into when you've got mental problems because you're getting in the ring. You know, you're putting your life on the line.
yeah,
You know, so yeah.
100%. I mean, whilst on that topic, I mean, look, it's hard because obviously recently, I'm not sure if you've seen it, Don. Jamal Charlo, who's it's been reported he's facing Canelo in September. Obviously, I'll send you the link after if you haven't seen it. But he
Yeah.
gets emotional as well on a recent podcast, and literally like the guy who's doing the podcast, he's tearing up as well. I think he's like the podcast is called Athlete. I am Athlete.
Okay.
So the guy, I think he used to be an NFL player, and he's crying as well. But it's just so sad because
Sad. Yeah.
he's like people are slating him. He's been two years out the ring, and now he's going to face Canelo. Blah blah. Why the WBC stripped him from his title at 160? But he's going through a divorce. We don't know. Like apparently he's been drinking as well. You know, depression, suicidal, all of these things. We don't know what's. It's just sad to say. It's just and what I saw on that podcast is he was afraid to cry. He was afraid to let it out. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, you're a boxer, yeah, you're a champion, but you're human as well. So I think we just have to kind of understand that it's as fans, yes, we want the most from these boxers. We want them to be active. We want everything from them. We look up to
But
them
they're
as
human.
beasts, but they're
Yeah.
human. And
Yeah.
guys, let's just try and understand that. But onto some more. Well, I don't know if it's positive, but Tyson Fury still no
This
opponent.
guy,
What's next for
honestly,
Tyson Fury? What's next for Tyson Fury?
I
Go ahead,
told you
guys.
he might as well go fight the Logan brothers, mate. Honestly, like that's where his career's heading. You know, at least Mayweather kind of like dominated the sport and left at the top, and yeah, he took the Logan fights and these celebrity fights at the end of his career. But this guy, Tyson Fury, is still at the peak of his career, arguably, and he's avoiding the peak fights. I mean, what is he doing? Like, what is he
Just
actually doing? You know. I don't understand. Like, we were tweeting yesterday saying we were texting yesterday saying how angry we were getting because like this year we were looking forward to the heavyweight division, yeah, at the start of the year, and now it's dead. Bro, you're right, it's a dead division. Like it doesn't
well, so you
exist.
saw what I sent you. Tyson Fury's next fight would be a game changer, quote unquote. Frank Warren has teased. He said the deal is pretty much done with the announcement expected in the next week or so. Also, Tyson Fury, breaking news, will not be fighting Alexander Usyk in December in Saudi Arabia. I'm told by Frank Warren. He said the Saudis may postpone their plans to January, so Fury is pressing ahead with a fight in the UK. Warren hopes to make Fury be Daniel Dubois for undisputed next year. Well, I bet you do because you probably hope Daniel Dubois beats Usyk, so Fury can fight Daniel Dubois instead of Usyk, who he's supposed to fight. Usyk's arguably the pound for pound best fighter in the world, but you're saying you want to
It's
make undisputed
proven.
with Daniel
Yeah,
Dubois. Daniel Dubois is not going to beat Usyk. So
he's
first of all,
not. No chance.
the first quote is going to be a game changer. We already know what that's going to be. What's a game changer? It's not going to be Usyk or Joshua or Wilder or Ruiz
But
probably. So it's going to be
any
probably
of the top
against John
fighters,
Jones or Ngannou or someone like that. Of course, it's probably right.
it's a joke. Honestly, what is he doing? Like, and
Honestly,
let's say
I'm
he fights you,
taking this post off my wall. I was on the
bro.
boxing space last night, man. I'm gonna let you speak though. I'm just letting out my frustration. I'll imagine one of the best heavyweight in the world right now. One of the if he's gonna go down as a great, and I'm getting mocked on the. Look how low Tyson's gone in terms of the fans. Like they despise him right now. They're taking a mick at me for having a post on my wall. I said, wait a minute, guys. I've got other posters as well. I might have to take this one down. Just save it somewhere. Yeah, just don't throw it away and just replace it with like Teofimo Lopez or someone because look, the fans are just against him now. God,
Bro, that's because he's ducking. Like, if you want to be the greatest, if you want to be like a legend icon, you cannot duck fights. You cannot walk away. Like, why aren't you? Like, I don't care. You know, you made all these claims a few years ago saying it's not about the money. You don't care about the money, but obviously it's about the money. Like, you're all about the money, bro. Why are you such a fake person? We always thought you were one of us. Like, you were one of the people. You know, you always like you seem like you're one of the people, but You seem so distant from the people. You don't know what the people want. We want you to fight the best, yeah. But you don't even want to fight the best, bro. Who the hell are you, man? Like you can go, you keep going on talk shows, chatting shit about this fight and that fight, bro. You haven't got the balls to fight Usyk. You're like a bloody
Yeah,
coward, mate. Honestly, I don't care if you're 6'9" or 10'5". Like seriously, you're still a coward, mate. Like, you know,
100%. And it's just like you'd think that he would have to surely get stripped on because think about it, he's
yeah.
WBC champion, but
Because
this man could,
let's not get twisted, yeah. Me and you, we love Fury. Yeah? Like
yeah.
I respect him as a fighter. The reason why I'm upset is because I want him to fight Usyk. Like
And
I
we're not
want that
deluded
fight.
fanboys.
No, we're not. We're not up people's asses. That's just the way you can't be like that. But yeah, man, going yeah, it's just nuts.
So what I'm thinking is, and someone said it yesterday, mate, just strip Tyson Fury and make Joshua Wilder in Saudi in December for the WBC world title. Because
I think that's
what
what
is
you have to
Fury
do.
doing, man? It's different if you know what. It's different if he's fighting every 3 to 6 months. All right, he's active,
But
but he's
he's
just not
not.
fight. No, at least fight some of the young, other dangerous fighters. Then Ruiz, Frank Martin,
Yeah,
Hergovich, Zhang, Joe
yeah,
Joyce.
yeah. But Zhang or
Fight
something
some
like
of
that.
those.
Like
Fight
someone
some of the
exciting.
other. Fight some
Yeah,
other top 10. Then I'll be like, okay, he's still fighting dangerous. This guy's fighting Chisora, who was just giving his friend a payday
yeah.
before, and now he has it for all year. He's gonna probably fight. Look, we know what the issue is, right? This is the situation. He's lost his hunger. He is the best heavyweight in the world, but he's lost his hunger. He just wants easy fights for the most money. But why we're all upset is because he's taking a piss out of us fans. We supported him. We want him to fight the best fights. He don't give a shit about us. He don't care about us.
No,
He's
he
trying to
doesn't.
con us. He's trying to con. Usyk literally said to him, 70-30 out, all your demands, we can make the fight, just donate to my charity. Mate, he
Yeah,
called his bluff and he still didn't make the fight. It's just pathetic, man. It's just pathetic.
pathetic, man.
Um,
That's why I respect Usyk as a fighter, man.
Usyk
You
as a
know,
fighter, he
uh,
fought.
yeah. Even a part of me is just like, if they fight, I hope Usyk kind of wins. Like a part of
Yeah,
me kind of wants to
yes,
do that because
yes.
like, and before I wouldn't have said that. Before I didn't support Fury, but now a part of me is like, actually, you know what, Usyk, I respect you as a person. You're a stand-up person, stand-up fighter. You're true to your word. You know, I hope if you do fight him, that'll be sick if you beat him because then that will probably make him finally realize like what he's doing wrong. Because I think
100%.
sometimes his ego, I think, is just growing to levels that even we can't recognize. Because we used to talk about AJ's ego, yeah, but I think Fury's ego is bigger. You know,
Just because he's
like
more authentic, right? Now he
yeah,
does.
mate. Now he does 100%.
Because he
You
just
know,
wants the
like
best fights and he's saying it straight. I'm quite
and like I said, we have to give credit to Joshua. He doesn't duck fights. He fights anyone. So you know, I don't know,
But
man. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's like oh, it's so frustrating, man. But let's just say it happens then. Fury v Ngannou with Fury v Jones. What do you make of that?
Bro, I don't even know. You know, like when you even mention the names to me, I'm so
It's
uninterested
stupid.
by those fights. Yeah, I
That's
don't
a
know,
fight that
man.
he needs
Like,
to do if he fights Usyk well once or twice, fights Joshua, he clear that division. He's become undisputed. Then you say, you know what, I just want to make a spectacle. I just want to make a fight like Mayweather McGregor.
yeah.
Then it's
Bro,
fine, but not now.
they even warm up fights. Like, if he said I'm
Yeah,
fighting Usyk in December, okay, I need to do a couple of warm up fights just to make sure I'm
it's not
ready.
even a warm up fight though. They're not
Yes,
professional boxers. They're MMA
yeah.
fighters. That's like just a
Um,
crossover event. That's just like a. It's gonna be huge.
it's like wrestling. It's like wrestling, isn't it? Really, arguably.
But look, I don't even want to talk more about Fury. There's nothing more to talk about.
It's
He's
a
robbing
waste of
us
time.
fans. We're both livid
Waste of
with him,
time.
and still no update. A week later, still no opponent, still no announcement. Um, until we mentioned Ruiz. What do you think about that fight then? Obviously, Wilder v Ruiz. Obviously, you heard them both calling each other out this week. The fight got ordered, mate, about 3 or 4 months ago. So that's the issue with probably. I think it was maybe Q1 this year. And I think they're both one. I think Wilder's one out WBC in the rankings. Ruiz is two. It might be 1v2. Whoever wins, I think, becomes mandatory for Fury's belt. But it's just like some of these fights take ages to make, and
Yeah.
it's a fight that should be easy to make. Look, apparently, what the issue right now is apparently while Ruiz's team wants more money, they're saying that Wilder's offered them 70%, 70-30 split, right?
Yeah,
70%
Rod
to
is isn't
Wilder.
he? Yeah, yeah.
What do you make of that? Because I was having not a debate, but I was just picking other people's brains and see what they think. I said, I understand. Look, Wilder's the bigger name. He's one of the best heavyweights in the division, and
Yeah,
he's got the super fights ahead of him. And he was a long reigning WBC champion. However, Ruiz, okay, not as active, not as big name, but he's been a unified
but
he's been a
but
unified
he beat
heavyweight champion.
Joshua. Yeah,
He beat Joshua. He's had some good fights. I don't think maybe 60-40. I think is a bit more fair.
60-40, 60-40.
60-40, right?
70-30 seems unfair. Yeah, because 60-40,
Come on,
like he's the first boxer in Mexico to be like, and then
heavyweight.
of course like yeah, heavyweight champion, and then whereas Wilder, he's always been like a bridesmaid, right? He's never really achieved
Yeah,
the same sort of success as him, so he can't really clap back at that. Of course, his name's bigger. He's more well known because he's fought Fury. So maybe that 60-40, I think makes sense.
yeah. I think
And it'll be a good fight. It'll be a really
it'll
good
be a good
fight.
fight.
But Wilder will
Um, I
definitely,
think Wilder will land that right
draw
hand
it.
and knock him
Yeah.
out. I just think Ruiz. Look, he's got the potential to do well, but what? It's not even about how good Ruiz is. For me, it's just how can you avoid
It's
that
just
right hand?
that right
The
hand
only
is deadly. It's,
only fighters who could
it's
probably
a
avoid that
machine
right
gun.
hand is
Yeah.
either Fury or Usyk. But that's the thing. Even Fury got caught by it. Excuse
That's the
me,
thing.
guys.
Yeah.
Even Fury got caught by it. And across the three
Mm.
fights, he got caught by it. Okay, yes, he took the punch a lot of times, but look, you've seen him get dropped. Has Usyk got a bit better defense than Fury? Maybe now he does because Fury has changed his style. But Usyk, I just think, yeah, Usyk's the better fighter. Yes, Usyk can beat Wilder, but would Usyk? How would he take that right shot from Wilder? So look, let's see if Wilder Ruiz happens.
I guess he
I think
punched him down as well. So yeah, because they're
that's the
both
thing.
short around there. So
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
yeah.
Yeah, let's see if Wilder Ruiz happens. I think it'll be a good fight, but not too much noise since the rumors a couple of days ago. But yeah,
Bro, seriously, you're talking to me about the heavyweight division, and even when you're talking about the names, it's just making me feel like nothing.
because none of them
It's
are
just,
fighting, Don.
yeah, it just feels
Actually, on the
like,
positive though, let's actually
yeah,
we've been very negative. This that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know Joy Sang. You put the bet on. You put a bet
Yeah, I
on
love
Zhang.
how Zach.
Well,
Come on, man,
September.
my guy.
Zhang, Joyce, 2, OVO, Wembley, September,
I
is it
think,
12th?
I think
The
Zach. I
rematch
think Zach will beat him. Yeah, he'll beat him again, man.
again.
Zach, yeah, I think.
I
Bro,
thought
Zach,
that was a
this
juggernaut,
guy,
so Joyce.
bro, this guy's a warrior, man. Like honestly, that fight, I've never seen. He's a proper bro. He's the juggernaut. Let's be honest. The way
Yeah.
he went through him, yeah. Good fighter, man.
So you're rolling with Zhang again.
And Zhang, same thing again, yeah.
Style makes fights, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think Joe Joyce wins this. I think for me, I think he lost because he got too slim. He lost too much weight. I think he'll add that stone back on. He'll walk him down and he'll just get him out of there within 6 rounds.
Or it might go all the way. It might go all the way.
I can't say
Maybe.
going away,
Actually,
man.
no, not all the way. Not knockout round 10.
Yeah, possibly because Zhang gets tired in
Because they both get tired.
the
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
What's key in
Yeah.
this fight is that Joe Joyce makes the adjustment. He's
And he
fighting a
survives the
southpaw.
first few rounds. Yeah.
He's fighting a southpaw, and he was getting hit by that left hand repeatedly. He wasn't
Bro, he was
wasn't
getting.
able to avoid it. He was just walking, taking it. And people say, yeah, Joyce got stopped, blah blah blah. Yeah, because his eye closed. If his eye didn't close, he probably would have won because he's got a solid chin. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
though.
that's true.
He lost a bit of
Yeah.
weight, and you could see he got hurt and rocked at times. He's got a granite chin, but I've never seen him rock like that. Hence, he needs to put that weight back on, and then I'm sure we'll see he will eat the punches.
Oh, you're
yeah,
afraid me now. Yeah.
no, but do you get what I mean? Because he looked very lean
Yeah,
in
it
that
makes
fight.
sense.
It makes a
Yeah,
difference
true.
when you
Makes
get too
at the
slim.
heavyweight, yeah. Yeah, because how tall is that? 6'6" or something?
Both,
He's a big guy. He's a big
both like
guy,
6'8", 6'9", I think.
yeah.
7.
Yeah. Jesus.
Um, But yeah, let's finish up on our heavyweight division. Anthony Joshua v Dylan White 2. Where are we now? I think we're at a stage where it's still back and forth regarding the contract. Look, August 12th is the date. How many weeks away is that? Blimey, it's not long at all. We need to get a move on. We need to get a move on. The one thing I heard that was weird, Eddie Hearn, I was watching the IFL interview yesterday, and he's saying, look, the situation is Dylan White wasn't happy with the rematch clause. Obviously, at the end of the day, Joshua's the A side. I know he's got a fight coming up with Wilder, supposedly. And as a business, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn as the promoter, you got to put a rematch clause in for Joshua. He's a huge star, and it's just business because if you never know if he
Business,
loses,
yeah.
he's got to get that rematch back. But
Mm,
Dylan White's team, they weren't happy with it. It's now been removed from the contract. Joshua said, "You what? I don't need a rematch clause." Well, this is all what apparently, but let's take it
yeah.
for their word. Joshua said, "No, I don't need a rematch clause to fight Dylan White. It's been removed, so that the contract's been sent back to Dylan White's team, and now they need to sign it." That's obviously Eddie Hearn's story. Maybe we know he tells some porcupines, but obviously
Yes,
Eddie Hearn saying what got me thinking was Dylan White goes, okay, apparently they go back, respond to the email saying that's fine, but we're not going to do no promo for this fight. What? So then in my head, I thought actually he might have a point here. Like, why would he? Number one, I don't think surely he wouldn't say that because this fight needs promo because of the build up. They got a bit of rivalry, they got a bit of beef. Number two, on the other hand, we saw the shenanigans and the silly stuff he was doing for the Fury build up. He wasn't turning up to the press conference. He didn't want to engage in a promotion. And Eddie Hearn said in that interview, he was like, look, they sent him just a basic requirements kind of list of what any fighter for Matchroom has to do in terms of promotional requirements. You just have to do your
of
minimum.
course, you sell the fight. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you have to sell the fight. So that's where we are now. Um, Mate, talk to me. Why isn't it's August 12th, not a couple of weeks away? Why isn't his fight getting over the line?
Surely it has to, right? Like it can't be like they have to sign these contracts. Like you said, it's only like a month and what 12 days away. So it's not. I don't know what's going on there, man. I
Something's
mean,
going on. Look,
you think it's an easy fight to set up as well. Let's be honest. Like it's just
yeah,
Dylan White.
because he's worked
Yeah.
with Dylan White's worked with Match all his life, all his career.
Yeah. So
It's like
so
it's
yeah, it's
obviously
strange.
it's strange, but obviously Eddie Hearn saying, "Listen, if you don't want to sign it, I've got two other people waiting to fight on that date." Part of me is saying something's going on. Where do they actually want the White fight, or or do they deem it too risky for AJ ahead of a 50, 60 million super fight with Deontay Wilder? It's a possibility, man. It's a
But I
possibility,
can't. Do you think Dylan White can stop AJ? I don't know. Well, I guess this
bro.
version of AJ, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, if Joshua wants to fight White, and Joshua's, I think to me, I think it's obviously it's a risky fight for Joshua, but at the same time, I think Joshua's got a lot more left than White has. White's washed, I think. I think he's
He's
past it
washed.
now.
Yeah.
I don't
He
think it's
just
the same,
touched. Yeah.
and it should be easier work for AJ.
Yeah.
Hence, I think the fight should
Yeah.
happen, mate.
Yeah. I
There's,
think
it,
he would go through like butter. You know, it wouldn't even. It's just an easy fight, but it's a good fight to have before Wilder because
confidence
you need
builder.
that prep. You need that prep. You need confidence builder. All of this, so it makes perfect sense, you know, to have that fight. Just get it out of the way and then focus on what. Because Wilder's a different. You can never prepare for Wilder. He's just completely like his style is so different. So
It literally is, man. It
yeah,
is
yeah. There's no preparation because he's just so like I don't know. I, I've never seen anything like it before. He's so
100%,
unpredictable.
mate.
It's unbelievable. Like yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a good fight. It'll be a good fight. But as we're talking about Eddie Hearn,
Okay.
yeah, you know, you've had a look at the research.
Hey,
You see,
I saw like a recent article today where he was like slagging everyone off in America, basically saying they're all jealous and you know like they just want to be in his position because he's the better promoter, and
yeah, man.
you know yeah Oscar and all of them, and I guess like you know like we said, there's definitely two sides to the story. He's obviously UK born, going to America and just going in and trying to take over basically
Yeah.
and not really understanding the culture. And then, of course, Oscar. I think Oscar is a bit of a worm anyway. So, so, so he chats so
Oh
much
god.
rubbish, mate. Honestly, he's just absolute douchebag. So,
What do you make of
yeah,
that, man? What's going on with Eddie Hearn
I don't
and
know, man.
all
It's
the
just,
players?
I think all these promoters are fake, yeah. So none of them obviously authentic. They're all obsessed with the money. You know, for them, these fighters basically they don't care about the fighter really. They don't care about the person. They just want to earn the money.
Yeah.
So all of them, like they're trying to put each other in different boats, but they're all in the same boat. Even Eddie Hearn, yeah, he's going to America, but he doesn't really care about the person. He just wants to make as much money as
Of
possible,
course,
which
of
is fair.
course.
I guess that's his job. And then same with Oscar and all of them. So they're just all jealous of each other because they're all on each other's territory. So it's all become very territorial. Before, Eddie Hearn wasn't a problem because he was in the UK. He wasn't touching the American market. But now, of course, he's in that American market. So that's why Oscar's getting jealous because he's like, you're basically coming to my country trying to dictate terms in my land. So
But what I don't get about, okay, I understand Al Heyman, Bob Arum, the other promoters on the other networks, but what I don't get about Oscar De La
they're the
Hoya, why
same, yeah, yeah.
they're both on the
Uh,
zone. Surely they should be working together to,
supporting each other, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
me and you. You've got your promotion and I've got my promotion, but our both our promotions are on Sky, are on
yeah,
Netflix. Let's say
yeah.
we're both on
Uh,
Netflix. We're against Amazon Prime. We're against Apple TV. Okay, we're still we're promoters, rival promoters, but you shouldn't see it like that, especially
yeah,
because that's the whole issue with boxing. All these rival
yeah.
promoters are preventing the business, the politics, or
The
preventing the
big
big
fights are
fights from
happening,
happening.
yeah,
Because they're saying, "Oh,
yeah.
I don't want that fight to happen on that promotion. I want it to happen on PBC. I want it to happen on
Yeah,
Top Rank.
yeah,
I want it
yeah.
to happen on Matchroom. Frank
Get
Warren wants it to
licensing,
happen on
yeah,
Kingsbury."
yeah,
So with
yeah.
boxing, the issue we have compared to the UFC, where UFC is just they don't have that issue
Yeah,
because
UFC's
UFC
easier, yeah,
one
yeah,
roster.
yeah.
What I was trying to, my point is with Oscar De La Hoya, what are you doing, you numpty?
You clown.
You both on, mate. I just hope he's okay. I know he's what he does in his spare time is a bit all over the place. But mate, you're on the same platform. Why are you having a dig at him as well? Are you jealous
Washing
that
powder.
are you jealous that Canelo when left you and went to him? Are you
Maybe,
jealous that he's
maybe
doing better than
he,
you?
yeah. Maybe he
You
just
know what I
wants
mean?
that full pie. He doesn't want to share the pie. Maybe he doesn't want any other promoter to be, to be part of that group, and yeah.
I just think,
So,
look, not Joshua, sorry, Eddie Hearn's one of the best promoters in the world. He's doing it.
yeah,
He's in that. Look, okay, it's only been 2 or 3 years in the US market. Give it a couple more years. He's going to improve. Look,
yeah,
he's admitted he's made mistakes. He's
yeah.
he hasn't been perfect. He thought he would have done better than he has. And at the end of the day, he's lost Canada now, but that means there's more money in the budget, more money in the pot for him to distribute that money into more than one fighter
Other
now.
fighters, yeah,
All that
yeah, yeah,
fight
yeah,
money
100%.
that was placed for Canelo, he can now maybe look at a Teofimo Lopez. He can look at getting a Devin Haney. He can look at getting a few fighters that would complement his stable
Yeah,
and
some
the weight
exciting
division.
fighters, yeah,
So for
yeah,
example, he's got flyweights. He's got great flyweights, super flyweights. He's got a lot of fighters at 140. Get a Devin Haney. Get a Sabril
mm-hmm.
Matias from PBC if he's a free agent. Look to get Teofimo Lopez if he comes out of retirement and depending on his top route contract. But at the end of the day, look, I think you would agree that Eddie Hearn's a threat to the US market. They say they see him as a joke, but if he was that much of a joke and not
They've
a
been taking it
major
seriously,
threat, yeah, they wouldn't even bother talking
yeah,
about him. So don't
yeah,
get me wrong. Hats off to PBC for having a great year, the best schedule this year. The Zone had the best schedule and Metro had it last year. But this is what we like as it's competition,
yeah, yeah,
No
yeah.
boxing, no life, baby. No boxing, no life. But yeah, let's just wrap it up. I think we've covered everything. I'm just going to quickly touch on, because I haven't done a video on it, this weekend we've got some good boxing for you hardcore boxing fans.
Yeah,
Don,
what's coming
I
up?
will update you on what's coming up, and if you get time, you better watch the fights. As we know, in the UK, we have a huge issue with boxing clashes. There's a card on the Zone, and there's a card on Sky Sports. Guys, can you not just really do you not care about us fans? Dalton Smith will be fighting Sam Maxwell in Sheffield on the Zone. That would be at £140. That will be for the Commonwealth super lightweight title. I think it's the British
Oh wow,
super
so
lightweight title
seriously.
as well. So yeah, Dalton Smith, he's an orthodox fighter. He's 26. He's known as the Thunder. He's 14-0, 10 knockouts. He's a very promising
Oh wow.
star. He's a promising star for Eddie Hearn. And I do think within the next 18 months he could get to that world level. The next two years will probably they were looking to get him to that world level, world title shot, and he could be a world champion. He's very talented. And what I find interesting is obviously you heard of Adel Azim. He's a hot talent,
Yeah.
British Muslim fighter. He's young as well. They're both at the same weight, so that's a potential domestic fight that could happen when they're
Very
both on the way
competitive,
up.
yeah.
And then obviously on the Sky card, I mean, let's shout out to some of the other names on the Sam Maxwell card. We got Junaid Boston. He's having a step up in opponents. Carla Ramos Zamora's fighting Ferreira. That'll be a good fight. Yeah, guys, I'll do a few shorts on my predictions for the fight. But look, on the Sky card, we have Savannah Marshall coming off that defeat against Clarissa Shields for the undisputed 160 title. But now she's moving up to 168 and she's fighting for the 100. She's moving up to fight for undisputed again at 168. And what I love about this, right, is it's a perfect opportunity for her. Look, she's fighting Franchon Cruz, who's 8-1, but she's only got 2 knockouts. But we know Savannah's strong. We know she can punch. And she's fighting Franchon Cruz, who's undisputed super middleweight champion. And I'm with Savannah on this. I've got to favour her. I think she'll get a knockout inside 6. I just think she's too big, too strong, too seasoned. She's trained by Peter Fury, Tyson Fury's uncle, who knows his boxing. He's a great trainer. And Savannah Marshall, yes, she came short against Clarissa Shields, but she won rounds. It wasn't like she got a beat down, So I think that's an interesting matchup. I think Savannah Marshall, what I like about this fight is if she beats Franchon Cruz, she becomes the undisputed super middleweight champion, and it's perfect for the rematch with Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields is undisputed 160-pound champion. She moves up, and then it's a rematch for the undisputed 168-pound title. So I think that's the plan. I think that would be great. But guys, yeah, I'm going to do a few videos on the fights. I'll be reacting to fights as well. Don, make sure you catch them if you get some time. I know you're actually in Lithuania right now, so thanks for making the time to jump on the podcast. But guys,
every week.
Yeah, we're only about a week away from Virgil Ortiz Jr. against Stanionis. So that's going to be a fight of the year. We'll cover that on next week's podcast. But guys, look, come on, engage with us. Comment what you think on Joshua, on Eddie Hearn, the BRONER topic. Let us know what you think. This is episode 2, Beyond the Ropes, the Cam and Don podcast, boxing podcast. Should I start again? I'll start again. Beyond the Ropes, the Cam and Don boxing podcast, episode 2. We're out.
Episode 2, baby. We're out. See you then. Peace. Her name. Talking numbers on the phone while I'm getting brains. Switch 4 lanes, I'm in my own lane. You can catch me